Hello everybody, welcome back to our brand new series here, the NASCAR Heat 5 NG Next Gen Mod Career Mode. Hope you're all having a great day. It is a brand new series, a brand new season kicking off starting from 2022 and, well, going onward for however long it goes into 2023 and beyond. So I'm very excited. We have the Daytona 500 on your way this episode here with this 2311 Racing Team number 45 Brisk Lemonade Toyota Camry. We took off from the Charlotte Douglas Airport and shortly landed after at the Daytona Airport, which is literally right beside the speedway here. Beautiful view you have rolling in. A bit of a cloudy day early on in the week, but we had some press to do a little bit early on in the week.
You've built a reputation quickly of being an aggressive driver, Gary. Do you plan on changing that in the Cup Series?
Not at all. I'm here to win races, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to do that. You know, I was hired by Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan to do exactly that, so that's what I'm going to do. We were now ready for some practice in Daytona, getting onto the track for our first practice session in the Cup Series outside of preseason testing, to hopefully get some drafting practice was kind of the main goal that we were going to get here as we were ready to go and as well get acclimated with our new team.
Got a copy?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
All right, let's go run a few laps.
Ready to go racing here, getting on track here on Daytona International Speedway, right behind the one of Ross Chastain, actually in the draft with the 12 of Ryan Blaney, the 18 of Kyle Busch there for Joe Gibbs Racing as well, fresh off of that 2021 season where we came up just short of an Xfinity Series championship. My practice, however, was quickly called off because Ross Chastain, having issues already to turn one with a tire issue, and my crew chief wants me off the track immediately.
Okay, we can't risk the car. Bring it to us.
That was going to be the end of my practice. They didn't want us to take a risk there on the track. I mean, I was on the track for one lap, and we almost found ourselves in trouble there with the one of Ross Chastain. So, yeah, it is what it is. It was now ready, though, a few days later, qualifying on Wednesday afternoon. Wasn't expecting much. If you played NASCAR Heat 5, you know what to expect when it comes to qualifying at a play track. And while we are in a 4-star car, 2311 Racing is a 4-star car. So I wasn't expecting a whole lot. And, well, you know, that was exactly what it'd be. Not a whole lot. We're coming through the tri-oval on my second lap to qualify. Well, dead last for the Daytona 500. I didn't have any speed. It's a dead last qualifying position now. A lot of storylines to talk about going into the race that we will highlight on. But you can see the session 1 positions there. Kurt Busch with RFK there in the mid-20s there. And that number 60 Ford Mustang with the Monster Energy sponsorship. You saw the 12 drivers that advanced. Truex top of the board. But we will have to wait and see into the actual race where, of course, everything is sorted now, as we as well had the truck race on Friday evening, and you can see the finishing order there. Matt DiBenedetto actually picked up the victory in Daytona for the Truck Series in the Next Era Energy 250, and then we also had some Xfinity Series racing as well. Depending on how drivers do in each series, we're going to move them up a series into Xfinity, then into Trucks, or sorry, into Cup. Justin Allgaier won over Bailey Curry, Trevor Bainberry, and Herbst there for the top 5. So Allgaier kicking off the season with the win, locks himself into the Xfinity Series playoffs. Now it's time for the Daytona 500.
It's a beautiful day here in sunny Daytona Beach. It's time for the 2022 Daytona 500. New cars, drivers, and team expansions are the talk of the new season.
It's time for some next-generation NASCAR racing. I'm joined by Clint Bowyer in the booth, and we're ready to rock and roll.
I am so excited for this new chapter of the sport, Mike. I think we will see a lot of unknowns this year, which is going to be awesome for the sport.
We're ready to roll in Daytona. After the break, we'll send you up to Mike Joy and Clint Bowyer in the booth.
I wish that you could see me now.
It's go time, Clint. Who are some drivers to watch out for here today?
You have to watch out for Denny Hamlin today, Mike. So strong here recently, and maybe pay attention to his 2 drivers, Bubba Wallace and that new kid, Gary Owen.
All right, Bud, the main goal today is keep it clean, and we will be there at the end.
You hear all the pre-race festivities there, and now we are ready to go racing here in this Daytona 500. 500. You see Kaz Gralla starting at the back after crashing during qualifying, and Daniel Suarez with an engine change after qualifying. That moves us up one row with this debut for 2311 Racing in the brisk Lemonade number 45 machine. We have a teammate of Bubba Wallace to work with and a team owner of Denny Hamlin to work with on the track. We are racing in this Daytona 500 in this 2022 NASCAR Next Gen Mod career mode here now as we are underway. Officially now behind that 21 of Harrison Burton. You notice immediately there is no rookie stripes on the back of this 45. I simply forgot. It will be on there in the next episode, starting out in Auto Club. And as well, you might notice the 51 car on track. Starting in the next episode, there will be a new driver in that 51 for obvious reasons. There's already a paint scheme made by Tyler Tinsley, who actually whipped up something really cool that you guys will see showcasing in the next episode here. Now, as we head down this back straight away, and this brand new next gen car fresh off of the 2021 season where we saw Kyle Larson go, of course, on an incredible 10 race win season, and of course cap that off with a championship, which was an absolutely unbelievable season and drive from Kyle Larson and his return to NASCAR Cup Series action in that number 5 for Hendrick Motorsports. Now as we come through to complete the second lap, just kind of settling in behind that 21 of Harrison Burton here now as we head down towards turn 1, down in 40th place actually, but I go up the inside of that 21 down the back straightaway. We'll be battling Harrison for Rookie of the Year all season long, same as the number 38 of Todd Gilliland. Already trouble in the Daytona 500. The 24 of William Byron's gone around in the Tribal, crashing down this run straightaway. I get to the back of the 7, which is not going to be good for the next restart. We'll get a look at what just happened there, but it looked like a tire failure on just lap 3 of this race. Yes, it was. Right behind Kurt Busch and RFK, number 60 car. Byron loses control and goes around in the outside wall. Now NASCAR Heat 5 has a big glitch, and it's where if your AI runs into the back of another car under caution, you will have an extremely slow restart right after. Unfortunately, my AI, you saw, hit the bank of Corey LaJoie. So we are going to have an absolutely abysmal restart right here. As you can see, I have no pace at all, and we are going to be already in trouble in just our Cup Series debut of losing the draft. Fortunately for me, Harrison Burton was a bro and decided to stay behind me and actually push me, so it wasn't game over quite yet here in stage 1. Here he is on the exit of turn 4, just glued to my rear bumper, and he would stay glued to my rear bumper for, well, as long as basically we needed to be. As you can see, I'm still pushing me on lap 9 of 15 in stage 1. Lap 10, we're a little bit closer. There you see the 7 of LaJoie, the last car in that lead pack. Joey Logano currently out in front. Logano would take the lead and kind of just take control of this race early on here in stage 1, kind of get single file for the first 5 or 6 cars up there, but we had run down the main pack with help from the 21. I owe a big thank you and assistance at some point this season to the 21 of Harrison Burton, that's for sure, for getting me back up to this main pack. So now it was game on, but we only had a couple of laps, of course, remaining in stage 1 at this point, so not a lot of time to work with to get ourselves going forward. There's Kyle Larson, the defending series champion right there, laying back, and Ryan Blaney as well, kind of chilling back here in the outside of the top 30. I'm glued to the back of this 47 of Santos, trying to push him forward. There's my boss up there, Denny Hamlin, as we exit turn 4. Joey Logano still leads the way at already the start of stage 1. Stage 1 goes by really quick because we, of course, spent, half the stage completely out of that main pack connection. So through 3 and 4 on this final lap of stage number 1, all over the back of boss man Denny Hamlin. Joey Logano, the first stage of the next gen car, is going to be won by that 22 as we cross the line behind Hamlin and Burton there. We end up P33 here, so a bit of a rough start, but for obvious reason, we had lost the main pack, so it wasn't going to quite work out in stage 1. You see the top 10 here. Bubba Wallace, actually, for 2311 Racing, getting a point. Noah Gregson, not full-time, with a couple of points there in 9th place. You're going to see some cars throughout the season, some part-time cars modded in, out, different names, different drivers, etc. But everybody pits for 4 tires, 2 cans of fuel as well. We're back underway for the start now of stage number 2 in this Daytona 500. A beautiful day, packed grandstands there on the right side of the screen. You see the temperature as well. An absolutely gorgeous day here, above 25 degrees Celsius, and you see it in Fahrenheit. I don't even know what that means in Fahrenheit, but it means what it is in Celsius, of course, there. As you guys know, the young Canadian I am, we go by Celsius here. We're trying to be the first Canadian to win a Daytona 500. Won't be the first Canadian to win a NASCAR Cup Series race if we do that this season, as that is already a feat that has been accomplished And that was actually from Earl Ross back in 1974 when he won at Martinsville. So far the only Canadian to win in the NASCAR Cup Series. Hopefully we can change that here at some point in this career mode. Now, this could be a career mode that spans for a year or two, depending, of course, on where NASCAR Gaming ends up and where this channel ends up as well, because who knows, this series could flop, you know, within a couple episodes, and then that's it, and then you never see it again. So you don't know. I don't really know. If it goes well, though, it's going to be around for quite a while. Probably if it goes well, it'll be around until the next NASCAR game, which we have no idea when that's coming. Now, as you see myself up the inside of RFK's Brad Keselowski, a new adventure for him. Daniel Suarez there. Trackhouse Racing has an expansion this season. Smoke down into turn 3, and the caution's going to fly again. It's the 8 of Tyler Reddick crashing there. The 2 Trackhouse cars have some contact now. Tire issues early on in the day here in Daytona. Fortunately for us, no tire issues, and we've been avoiding the crashes, but Trackhouse Racing has expanded to 2 cars this season. You see, not only with Daniel Suarez now, but they also bring on Ross Chastain over to that number 1 team here, as we were ready to go back racing once again. A lot of changes this season with the Trackhouse expansion. RFK, of course, the rebrand there, which was Roush Fenway Racing. Brad Keselowski comes in as a co-owner and driver, but not only do they stick with 2 cars, they expand to 3. That was one of the modded changes here, with a beautiful paint scheme you'll see on track at some point. You already saw it a little bit earlier. The number 60 of Kurt Busch actually here with RFK instead of 2311, because obviously I took that number 45 car. So Kurt, this storyline allows him to stick around a bit longer than he did in real life, thankfully. You can see him right there on the outside in that Monster Energy number 60. You're also going to see another paint scheme for him, Vitamin Water. Vitamin Water on board with the RFK team this season as well, so you'll see that on the car quite often as well. But the Monster Energy car made by Sanok, and absolutely beautiful paint scheme as well, as we head down this front straightaway, trying to move my way forward late in this second stage, passing both of these RFK cars of Chris Buescher as well as Kurt Busch now, as we head down into turn 1, into now the top 25. So we have been moving our way forward here, and we're doing a good job of it now. As you can see, more smoke again late in stage 2. Is it another tire failure? The caution's gonna fly again in the 500. Can't quite tell who it is, as it might be, yes, it's the 42. Ty Dillon in the 42 blows a tire. Caution flies again, setting us up for a late restart in stage number 2. A lot of cautions so far in this race, and they've all been for the exact same reason: tire failures, similar to Next Gen in real life, where we saw in 2022 a lot of tire failures. Now, as we're back underway once again, fortunately though, you know, 3 tire failures, 3 cautions aside from the stage already, and we have fortunately though been able to avoid all of them relatively well. We didn't have the contact with the 7 of Corey LaJoie, of course, on that first incident where we saw William Byron on just lap 3 lose that tire in the travel and have that accident. So the only difference was Byron and Reddick, they DNF'd with their failures. Ty Dillon still in the race with a tire failure. Not surprising, we didn't see him actually crash like the 8 and the 24. Final lap underway though in stage 2. We only had 2 laps to go after that restart, all over the back of that number 12 of Ryan Blaney. 3 wide right here with Kevin Harvick. I believe that was JJ Yaley, a part-time driver, on the far outside as we head through 1 and 2, accidentally taking it 4 wide. That was not what I was trying to do with Ryan Blaney. We get sorted 3 wide though down the back straightaway. Harvick was able to get out in front. Up in front though, it's the 2 of Austin Cindric, another Cup Series rookie that we're going to be battling this season for Rookie of the Year. He is out in front, but you can see all the way out there there's a battle for the lead as we come through 3 and 4 out of the exit of 4 though, passing Kevin Harvick, closing into the back of the 43. We're going to force it 3 wide with Eric Jones and Cole Custer. Kyle Busch actually is able to edge out that 2 car at the line, so Kyle Busch wins stage number 2. 2 legends of the sport sweeping the first 2 stages of this next gen era, with Busch in stage 2, Logano in stage 1, Kaz Gralla for that Team Money team up there in 3rd place. The Team Money team, as you can see, everybody coming into the pit lane here for 4 tires again, 2 cans of fuel, no adjustments necessary. I was pretty happy with how the car was driving here as we were getting ready for some more racing. Yeah, the car feels really good right now, guys. I wouldn't change anything. I think we have a good shot here if it can stay green.
Yeah, I agree. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Ready to go green then for the 3rd and final stage. You hear some radio chatter now as we're back underway. It's going to be 16 laps of racing in this Daytona 500 for the 2022 kickoff of the next-gen car. Who is going to stamp their name into the history books with this historic next-gen debut victory? We're going to find out here in a matter of minutes. Now, down into turn 1, 3 wide already. Chase Elliott there, the 2020 Cup Series champion there on the far outside. Now, Stenhouse in the middle between both of us here as we exit turn 2. Kevin Harvick there just behind myself, tucked in that number 4 Stuart Haas Racing Ford Mustang. We're down this back straightaway, pulling ahead now of that 41 of Cole Custer actually here, as depending on his season, he could very well likely be on the way out going into the 2023 season, just like he was in real life. Now, side by side there with that 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Another thing in this career mode, we've got rules to kind of go over as well. I think that you guys would kind of like to know. First of all, injuries, depending on crashes, injuries can be a part of this career mode, as well as when we talk about crashes. DNFs I have turned off because, well, the DNFs suck in NASCAR Heat 5, they always have. However, I have my own rule system where basically, if we have more than 10 seconds of damage, because the seconds of damage you get in NASCAR Heat 5 is not a lot, but if we have more than 10 seconds of damage for a pit stop, we must give up a lap and basically pull over and give up a lap as an act of getting repairs. And for a DNF, if we get 20 seconds or more of damage repairs, we will simply have to pull off the track and let the rest of the race go on. So that's kind of the rule I've set up for that. It's a rule I used to use way back in the day, and I'm bringing that back for this series. Here we are, hopefully not having to use that today, because now we've entered the top 10, because we've been working with our 2311 teammate of Bubba Wallace here, as we are pushing that number 23 McDonald's Toyota Camry forward now. And here we are, late in the day, less than 10 laps to go, and we're in the top 10 for the first time in our Cup Series debut. Now, we didn't get no practice in the Cup Series beforehand like other drivers do here and there, you know, get a couple races this season before. No, we're thrown right into it, kind of like William Byron was in the number 24 car, but pushing Bubba Wallace 3 wide to the lead of the race in the Daytona 500. Coming up on the final 8 laps, we get him clear for the lead. I get a huge shot from the back there from the 43 of Jones, and that actually unsettles me. That pushes me down the track. That puts him into second. Harvick into third. I have help from the 31 of Haley, but the caution is going to come out with 8 laps to go, and you see 8 laps of feel. We're going to be using 4x feel everywhere else for the rest of the season. Daytona, I did 3x, but everybody's going to come into the pit lane here, and it was for another tire failure. I can confirm. I barely saw it in the replay mode. It was in the background, but we're coming in for half a can of fuel, and quite simply, no tires would be the right call. Everybody does the exact same thing, and now here we are on row number 2, unfortunately disconnected from my teammate Bubba Wallace, which is not what I wanted to see, but we have 5 laps to go in this 2022 Daytona 500, and in real life, Austin Cindric went to victory lane in this race. Who is going to do it today? We're going to get into the back of the 43 of Eric Jones for that GMS, Petty GMS team, a brand new, of course, collaboration project on the scene this season with Eric Jones in the 43 and Ty Dillon in the 42. Not a great restart for myself. The 31 of Justin Haley, he's going to jump up to the outside. This outside has a little bit of momentum though down this back straightaway. Dead even up front. Bubba Wallace on the inside, Eric Jones on the outside. And myself, third in line on the outside, Austin Dillon, third in line on the inside, Harvick and Haley second in line on their respective lanes. But you can see the outside starting to fade here now, as there's a 15 for Rick Ware Racing. Garrett Smithley getting up into the mix as well. Daytona is known for surprise winners, most recently with Michael McDowell last season in the 2021 season there. So maybe expect that here once again today. Not necessarily Michael McDowell, but a surprise winner. Here I am going 3 wide in the middle between the 7 of LaJoy, the 31 of Haley, and here I am linked up with my boss again of Denny Hamlin, who wanted me to stick with him if possible, and here we are in line with that number 11 down this back straightaway.
It's so much harder in this car to move forward in the pack, man. I can't do anything.
You hear Denny Hamlin's radio chatter, and get used to stuff like that. You're going to hear a lot of drivers' radios throughout this season from different drivers, not only from our boss of Hamlin, our team at Bubba Wallace, and other competitors as well, especially as things go wrong for them in the future outside of Daytona. As you can see, 2 laps to go in this Daytona 500. Not a whole lot we can do. Hamlin actually hangs out our teammate of Wallace as we head down into turn 1. I stick with the boss over this one. I could get down to the inside here, but I felt like I could trust Hamlin to go forward, so I kind of stick with him. But then the 77 of Balicki actually gets to my inside anyways. Now I'm 3 wide in the middle, but we would get clear above Wallace, and he would fall back. White flag in the air. This Daytona 500. It's the number 3 of Austin Dillon leading the way down into turn 1. Can he become a 2-time 500 winner? He won back in 2018. 18 after dumping Eric Almirola into the outside wall. If you remember that iconic 500 finish now, but Dylan gives up the lead. It's Garrett Smithley in the number 15 to the lead of the 500 for Rick Ware Racing. Here we are, 23-11 in our boss of Denny Hamlin. All of us here together as I'm pushing the 11, but we're not really going anywhere. Down into turn 3, Wallace to the inside. We're all looking for top 10s at least here. In our Cup Series debut, it looks like it is going to at least be a top 10, but could we get another spot or two? Let's see. To the inside of Hamlin, down the front straightaway, Garrett Smithley will win the Daytona 500 for Rick Ware Racing. We cross the line with Hamlin and Bubba Wallace there. We're going to end up P9. We barely got Hamlin at the line. What a day. What a debut by Garrett Smithley and Rick Ware Racing, our Daytona 500 champions. That's a part-time team, part-time drivers, so they are, of course, not in any playoffs. But how about that for Rick Ware Racing? You see the rest of the finishing order. Kurt Busch in his debut for RFK, 29th place. And you can see Ryan Blaney, 9 laps down, Reddick 30, Byron 48. Those are the 3 DNFs. Chastain, the last car on the lead lap, and Cindric down there as well. Rough day for those drivers and for Chris Buescher. As you can see, the payout that we bring in. 11th in the standings following an epic Daytona 500 episode, which I hope you guys enjoyed so much. And this is just a taste of what's to come. It's going to be such an awesome series that I hope you guys are supportive of, because that's how it's going to stick around, as if the support is there. And always keep in mind, as it's said in the description as well, Next Gen mod is a work in progress. It's currently in beta. This is not even the finished product, and it's already awesome, which also means it's not available to public release, but it will be hopefully soon. And as soon as I know a date, I will let you guys know. And the next one, we head to Fontana, California, Auto Club Speedway. We're going to head out west for the West Coast Swing. We're going to take off here from Daytona Beach, and I'll see you guys then at Auto Club. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, everybody.